program on WROI Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
Evan, it is a beautiful morning.
It's really nice out. Can't really see anything.
Hey, that all changes this weekend. It'll
Oh.
get light an hour earlier now.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, we set our clocks back.
That's good. I didn't want to show up for church extra early. Is that how that would work? Or late? No, it'd be late, wouldn't it?
No, it would be early.
Early, okay, thank you.
Yeah, because we go back an hour.
Well, that would be the first time I'd be early. So. Well, this should be our spooky show, but I didn't prepare anything. Your mask looks a little bit spooky.
Yeah, I broke out the Halloween style mask.
That's good. That's good. I'll prepare for next year's a little bit better.
Okay. Maybe we won't have these masks next year. Maybe we'll have Halloween masks.
The real ones.
Yes.
Full face.
Yeah.
That would be good. Hey, it is trick-or-treating this weekend. We are getting to do that.
Yes. I
So-
am very happy. My kids are ecstatic about it.
Mine too. We're going to be going as the as Harry Potter characters.
Okay.
With the robes and everything.
Which one are you going to be?
I'm not going to, but I thought for a second about being the really big guy. What's his name? Remember? Tanner, you can help me. No?
I can picture
My
him.
daughter's going to hate me for
I
this
know.
because I can see him, but I
The
cannot.
big
Got the
beard?
beard.
Yeah.
She's probably yelling at the radio. Right
Yeah,
now.
same
Daddy,
here
it's
with
this.
my kids. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I failed you.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not going to. But our costumes they're looking good. So we're gonna be pretty impressive, I think, out there on the street. Okay, let's see. We are having the scavenger hunt for the Rochester Downtown Partnerships finishing up today.
Mm-hmm.
We still have time to do that. And when do you have to get those game cards turned in by, Tanner?
Got to get them in by 5 p.m. today.
Okay.
So kids still got some time after they get off school today. They can get their cards. They can fill them out and turn them in. Give yourself a treat bag.
No problem with getting started on the candy a day early, is there?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't save it. I'd go for it tonight if I were you guys.
Oh, thanks for giving my kids that.
Sorry, Paul. Hey, we also got early voting still going on. I think you can do that through Monday even.
Yep.
Monday noon. That's pretty neat. I went ahead and voted this week.
Me too. Yeah.
Pretty smooth process. Terry Furnival and crew did an awesome
Sure
job.
did.
They're handling that really, really well, and there are quite a few people doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like to me. So, of course, voting day is Tuesday of next week.
Yes.
So don't forget if you don't get a chance to do it early. Don't forget to do that on Tuesday. Okay. What kind of weather? You just gave a weather report, Paul. What are we looking at for tomorrow?
Sunny and 55.
Oh, that's sweet.
A little breezy, but hey, you know what? It wouldn't be Halloween without wind.
Hey, we've had some Halloweens with the freezing rain and the
And that
frozen
other
snot on your
S word that we
face.
can't say,
Wasn't
so-
last year pretty bad if I remember
Yes,
right?
it was.
Yeah.
So this sounds perfect. Should be a great time. Also, special day today at First Federal Savings Bank in Rochester and Winnemac. We're doing a shred day. We didn't get to do our customer appreciation day or community appreciation days this summer. So we're doing a shred day today. We aren't going to have food, so if you come hungry,
Sorry.
we can, I don't know that we can solve that problem for you, but we will have our shred truck here in Rochester. So if you've been wondering how you're going to get rid of some of those confidential documents, we got you covered today. Just stop in. What time is the truck going to be there, Tanner?
11 to 2 today.
Okay.
3 hour time block.
Okay, and if you're in the Winnemac, Pulaski County area, you can head to our Winnemac branch, and we'll have the locked, secure bins for you to dump your shred in, and we'll help you out with that. So.
And that's all day over there,
Okay.
8:30 to 5, so during the hours of operation today.
We'd love to see you, and then we're also going to do a prize drawing.
Yep, you can enter to win a Ring doorbell video device. So it's one of those nice safety devices that you can use your phone and see who's at your door. And so if you're at work expecting a package, you can see if it got delivered, different things like that. All you got to do is let one of our tellers know, or other First Federal family members that you want entered. They'll take your name and phone number down and enter you right in the drawing. So
That's sweet. I don't have one of those, do you?
I do not.
I don't.
I had someone showing me how it worked, and it was really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Christmas is around the corner.
We're probably not eligible, though, are we?
We are not eligible.
Okay.
Here's our family member.
All right, so you got a great chance to win.
Yep.
Come on by.
So I'm eligible. Good.
You are
Oh,
eligible.
Yep. All you have to do is nod, and we'll put you in.
Yep.
Okay, according to CBS News, this is our trivia this morning.
Uh-oh.
What was the most popular Halloween candy in Indiana in 2019?
Oh, I'm gonna have to think on that one.
You want some choices?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is all.
A, Good and Plenty. No, I'm just kidding. That was the show 50 years
I'm
ago.
gonna break out the old candy.
A, Skittles. B, Reese's Cups. Or C, Hot Tamales.
Okay.
All right.
I will give it my best educated guess at the end of the show.
We really should have added a fourth choice just to
I thought
really
about
make it difficult.
I thought about it for a 1 week only type thing.
D, Apple. Just kidding.
Eat all of the above.
You hated it when someone who would put an apple
Yeah.
in there and weigh your bag down, had no candy value.
Yep.
Eat this.
Well, we got a great guest later today. We're going to be interviewing Todd Zeltwenger. He's an old friend of the program, and he's doing something a little bit new this year, and we're going to hear about it. Speaking of apples and food, he's going to be talking about Cultivate, and that's a company that's doing some interesting things with food and working to solve food insecurity in some of our counties here in Indiana. So, looking forward to that. Tanner, how about some sports this morning?
Yeah, got some sports to talk about, both locally and nationally. Still got some football teams around the area in action tonight. Got 7-3 Tippecanoe Valley. They're going to be taking on Mishawaka Marion. Marion's one of the better teams in 3A this year, so that's going to be a test for the Vikings tonight. But good luck to them as they are hosting Mishawaka Marion. Winnemac got a bye this week. They're supposed to play South Newton, but South Newton pulled out of the
Oh,
tournament.
that's too bad.
So Winnemac gets a free bye into the sectional final next week, where they'll play either the winner of Culver or North Jetson. One of those two, the winner of that game. In Caston, got a win last week over North Miami. They're going to play 10-0 Southwood, who is
Tomorrow.
ranked number 3 in 1A. That's tomorrow, you said?
Tomorrow, yes.
Okay.
They got moved due to Southwood's quarantine issues.
Okay, I did not know that. So thank you,
I
Paul.
found out a little bit ago while Johnny was doing sports.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, good luck to all those teams and participants tonight. And also, good luck to the Argus boys soccer team at state tomorrow. They play Providence. They're looking to try to repeat their championship from last year.
Yeah, that would be really special.
Yeah. And good luck to Rochester's Madeline Calloway, who is running in the state cross-country championship tomorrow. This is her second consecutive year making it to state. So
That's
good luck
incredible.
to her.
Great job.
We got some college football and NFL to talk about. Notre Dame proved at 5-0 last week, winning at Pittsburgh. They're ranked number 4 in the country. They are 20-point favorites going on the road to Georgia Tech tomorrow, who's 2-4. That game's at 3:30 on ABC. Of course, Notre Dame hosts Clemson next week. Everybody's already kind of looking forward to that game.
Yes.
Clemson star quarterback Trevor Lawrence tested positive for COVID-19. It was announced last night.
Is he out for
He's
sure?
out for Boston College for sure this weekend. Not sure about Notre Dame yet. It strictly depends on when he tested positive.
Okay.
The ACC goes by the 10-day CDC guidelines.
Okay.
So he could be available next weekend, or he might not be. So that's
There'll be a lot of people holding their breath on
that's
that.
going to be a big story to watch.
He's a great player.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to think their running back's going to get a lot of touches this weekend at Boston College. So. Purdue Boilermakers are 1-0 after defeating Iowa 24-20 last week. They travel to Illinois tomorrow to take on the 0-1 Fighting Illini. As of right now, the game's at noon on the Big Ten Network. I woke up this morning to a report that Illinois had multiple outbreaks on their team. Fortunately, with the Big Ten's really strict rules, it doesn't take too many players to test positive to cancel the game. There's no postponement or forfeit. It's just a cancellation with no makeup date. Because like I was talking to you this morning, Evan, unfortunately the Big Ten, when they decided to cancel their season, instead of putting a pause on it earlier and regrouping, they decided to start it late in October and go 9 straight weeks, no buys included or anything. So if a team gets it and can't play,
No
the
wiggle
game's,
room.
No wiggle room, the game's canceled.
I think there was another game canceled already this weekend. wasn't there?
Wisconsin, Nebraska. Wisconsin had a big outbreak. That's who Illinois played last week.
No.
But Illinois had been clean all this week until supposedly yesterday. So we will see
That's unfortunate.
see if what comes back there, because Purdue plays out Wisconsin next week. So there's a chance they go back-to-back weeks without playing. the Big Ten's already stated you have to play at least 6 games if you want to be eligible for the Big Ten championship. If Purdue can't play this week or next week, that gives them a maximum of 6 games if nothing else happens.
Wow.
So it's just a crazy season. So we're
I'm
gonna.
glad they're playing, but this is some tough rules to live by.
Yeah.
And if a player does test positive, they have to quarantine for 21 days. Unlike the other conferences, that's 10 or 14 days.
So maybe they'll get it all out of their system here early.
Maybe. It's going to be interesting to watch. But
I'm
as
a
of
glass half full guy, Paul.
I like it. As of right now, that game's on noon on the Big Ten Network. Indiana, coming off their biggest win in at least the last 30 years of their football program, beating Penn State at home last week. They now travel to Rutgers, who's also a surprising 1-0. That game's at 3:30, but it got shifted from the Big Ten Network to Fox Sports 1 tomorrow.
Okay.
And Indiana's 11.5-point favorites, and they are ranked 17th.
What?
17th?
That's never happened in my lifetime.
I know
I
it.
think.
I know it.
That's the program that's lost the most football games ever in the country. By the way.
So we will see what happens in that matchup tomorrow.
We may frame the shot of Michael Penix diving for the pylon.
Just don't show it around any
Still-
Penn State fans.
Yeah, still inconclusive
Yeah,
at the end there.
What a close play. I think the referee had to go with whatever he called on the field. It was
The
that
worst
close.
part for me is I didn't even watch that game.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Oh well.
And the Bears are in action, coming off their loss Monday night against the Rams. They're in action at home this weekend where they host Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, who are starting to catch stride. The Saints are 4-point favorites in that game. And the Colts, coming off a bye week, they're 2.5-point favorites on the road up in Detroit. And Detroit had a good win last week.
I'm surprised they're not favored by more.
I know it. I am too.
I know the away team.
And the World Series came to completion earlier this week. The Dodgers ended up beating the Rays in 6 games and winning their first World Series since 1988.
Seems like they'd won it more recently than that, but I
Well,
think that's just because they've been
They
there.
make
a few
it
times.
about every year, and they just can't win it. So if they didn't win it this year, I think there's going to be some changes.
I was fully expecting them to choke.
Yeah, I was too. But
So
they got it done.
Gotta give them credit.
I know a few Dodger fans that are pretty happy right now. And one last baseball note. The Chicago White Sox hired a new manager yesterday.
Oh, a new young guy?
I think nope. I think
No.
the White Sox thought it was 1980 instead of 2020, and they hired former Cardinal and Oakland Athletic manager Tony La Russa.
And former White Sox manager.
And yeah, that's right. So
That's what you call the full circle.
it's
Yeah.
Interesting move, to
Yes.
say the least. We'll see if it works for them, but
What, about 20 years since he managed last, give or take?
it's been not that long, but it's been
Seems like it, doesn't
at
it?
least a decade.
Does
So
he still have the 80s hair?
they'll probably bring it back again. So
It's coming back
it's
anyway.
an interesting choice there for the Southsiders. So. Got some tidbits this morning on this day in 1919. Baseball League presidents called for the abolishment of the spitball.
Unfair.
Still not
Huge
legal
controversy at
to
the
use
time.
today, yeah. On this day in 1945, Branch Rickey signed Jackie Robinson to the Montreal Royals. Of course, Harrison Ford played Branch Rickey in the movie
That's right.
42.
That was a good movie,
That was a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, I suggest checking it out.
Paul.
Just like how you know that I haven't seen that.
Just a guess.
On this day in 1957, WLWI, now WTHR, TV channel 13 in Indianapolis had their first broadcast. Still going strong today.
Yeah.
So around Halloween time, so I had to put this one in there. On this day in 1974, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre premiered in Los Angeles. Of course, they'd go on to make 4 or 5 of those, if not more. I know they made some recently.
Yeah, I think they've all gotten remakes upon remakes.
Okay.
On this day in 2012, Walt Disney purchased Lucasfilms and its right for Star Wars and Indiana Jones for $4.05.
$4,000.
Just a little more than that. It's a $4.05 billion with a B dollars.
Wow.
Can you imagine signing your name on that check with your shaking hand?
I couldn't.
This is a good idea.
I would shake. I shake when I have to sign one for about 4,000. A
For a new
or
roof.
billion. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
and,
my gosh.
And today is National Checklist Day. It's also Bandana Day, Candy Corn Day, which is fitting for this time
Mix
of
it
year.
with some cocktail peanuts. There you go.
I gotta mix with something. I can't eat just straight candy corn.
Straight
so
sugar?
Not,
Yeah.
not a fan. It's Create a Great Funeral Day. That's
Ooh,
kind
that's a
of
little
Interesting.
dark for
Yeah.
Halloween.
and Haunted Refrigerator Night.
Oh, come on.
I
Hey.
had no idea. I should have looked into what.
That's
that
when you haven't
means.
cleaned out your food. We're going to be talking to Todd about some of that.
Yeah, yeah, we are.
Saving food here in just a minute.
Exactly.
Well, we do have a couple of upcoming events. The 15th annual Haunted Woods Trail is this weekend at the Fulton County Museum grounds. Tickets are sold from 7:30 to 11 p.m. Cost is $8 for adults, $3 for children ages 6 to 11. Under 5 are scared for free. All proceeds support the museum. They've had a lot less traffic this year, so if you got nothing going on or want to do something different with the family, this might be a good event for you, and will support a great cause. Also, we're coming up in the season for United Ministries Christmas baskets. Applications will be accepted starting on Wednesday, November 4th, next week. You can complete them at the Community Resource Center on Pontiac Street. Bring proof of your Fulton County residency and birth certificates for children 12 and under. And of course, if you're not familiar with that, the baskets will include age-appropriate gifts for children and food for the household. Also, United Ministries will be looking for volunteers to help with the program. There's a lot of logistics involved with receiving all these toys and food items, getting them packed, and then of course distributing them, which I think is on December 19th this year. If you got a truck and you want to do something good for someone else this holiday season, the 19th they'd be looking for folks to help make those deliveries. You can call Joyce Schroff at 574-223-3563 if you want to get more information or let her know that you want to volunteer. Hey, we want to give a big shout out to John Baker, husband of First Federal's own Jackie Baker of our Rochester branch. John is retiring today after 50 years at Winnemac Coil Spring. Way to go, John. That's an impressive record. Also this morning we want to give flowers to Dilly's Restaurant in Akron. They've been around, I think, since 2017, and they are the Fulton County Chamber Member of the Month. Congratulations, Dilly's.
Yes.
You can head there for a great meal or a cocktail. And then in money news this week, it's been kind of a red week at Wall Street. The Dow's down almost 6% this week so far. And if it finishes down today, it'll set to post our second straight month of losses in the stock market. We haven't had to say that much this year because it's rallied really well since bottoming out in March. And we'll see where that goes, but there's a lot of uncertainty, as we know right now, with stimulus, with elections, with COVID-19, so all that should get worked out. And I did see an interesting article where in an election year, the stock market generally doesn't change much after an election depending on who wins. Usually it's really pretty irrelevant who wins for the stock market, so don't give up on your investing or saving for retirement, no matter what happens. Hey, we did hear yesterday the GDP number, which is a measurement of all the goods and services produced in our economy, came out for quarter 3, and that annualized rate was 33%, which is the highest it's ever been. And that's after we had the worst quarter that we've ever had in quarter 2, and then we have the best quarter we've ever had. So there you go. But the economy is bouncing back as things have reopened, and so that's our hope that things can continue on from here. And get everybody back to working and businesses back to producing. So sounds like a good start so far. We'd love to see you today, as we said, is Shred Day. I don't think we've ever had an official Shred Day before. This is going to be fun. We've been doing Shred at our Customer Appreciation Days for several years. The Rapid Shred truck will be there, which we said is really fun to get rid of all that stuff you're storing in a filing cabinet that's maybe a little outdated. We'd love to help you with that. Great service, and that'll be 11 to 2 today. We are open until 5 on Fridays, so we can help you with other things. If you've got questions, you want to find out about other valuable products and services that we offer, or if you want to get some transactions done, come on in. We'd love to help you with a smile today. You can always bank with us online or with our mobile app. It gives you 24/7 access to your accounts, all your information. That app is free to download and use, so you can search on your app store for that. We do have several ATM locations which are always open, and now we're part of the MoneyPass ATM network. So you can search on moneypass.com and find out all the locations where you'll be able to get cash for no charge. We're really excited about that, and that may help you out, or you won't have to drive as far to a First Federal ATM if you're needing some cash. We did launch here recently our online chat feature on our website, and that's available in online banking or just on our website. If you've got questions about some service, you can do it that way too if you don't want to call or stop in. We'd love to help you. And then we just launched here in October our first federal insurance services.
Yeah.
We'd love to help you with the free quote. We can make it very simple and easy for you. You can find that on our website under our Invest and Insure button on the front page and choose First Federal Insurance Services. You can get a quote online, very convenient, or you can call 833-331-0020 and one of our agents will help you. We offer many different mortgage products, conventional loans, one-step construction loans, first-time homebuyer loans are very popular right now. Come in and get pre-qualified so you can be ready to jump on that home that goes on the market and beat Paul to it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, okay. It's a buyer's market right now. You got to be ready to go and find what you want to get. So, I'm sorry, a seller's market. Most people are getting close to their asking price. It's pretty wild out there, so we'd love to get you prepared to do that. We also have a purchase special. Won't be qualifying for that. It doesn't sound like Paul, but if you're buying a house, we can give you a discount on our rate and fees. We'd love to talk with you about that. Come in and see us, and we can help you out. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
We can proceed.
Yes, we can.
Right? Okay. Well, I want to introduce to our watchers, viewers, and listeners Todd Zeltwenger. He's a director of fund development for Cultivate Culinary. And Todd, you've been a guest on our show several times with Dick.
I have.
I'm glad to have you back.
It is great to be back. It's been a couple of years. I spent about 10.5 years at Ancilla College and was on this show many times. And Dick, if you're listening this morning, I just want to say hello to you and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Todd. That's great. Hey, we got in touch with you a couple times here in the last year. Your ministry, Cultivate, is located near some of our northern branches.
Yes.
And so we've been able to overlap and get involved there, and we have enjoyed doing that. But also we participated in a golf outing fundraiser that you had this summer, Swan Lake Golf Course. That was a nice outing and fun to do something positive to help raise some funds for a good
I
cause.
saw Tanner hit a 300-yard drive. I saw that. Maybe it was 250. I'm not sure of it.
You could easily confuse Tanner and I. That was probably...
Oh, that was you. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Well, that was a great day. Sure was. Yeah, I had about 43 teams at Swan Lake and I filled up almost 2 golf courses there, and we look forward to doing it there again next year.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I'm thinking about Cultivate and what you guys do. I remember when I was a kid hearing adults say sometimes something like, don't waste your food, there's starving kids in other countries out there. You guys probably heard that.
Yeah.
Well, you can see I didn't waste a lot of food. I'm a good listener and very obedient. So, but is that a somewhat of a synopsis of what Cultivate was set out to do? Give us a little idea on what Cultivate mission is and what you're accomplishing.
Yeah. Let me give you a quick little history of how this started. Our co-founders, Jim and Randy, back in the spring of 2017, heard about a place in Indianapolis called Second Helpings. And they went down there because we were going to try to launch a culinary arts curriculum to teach students with. Well, they got down there, they found out that Second Helpings was doing a food rescue operation down there where they were rescuing food. So that term means that instead of that food going into the landfill and wasted, that food it's prepared, unserved food from places. They would pick that food up, take it back to their place in Indianapolis, and then volunteers would come in and put meals together, similar to here that I brought in today.
Tanner, can you get a snapshot of that here?
There's a couple of different options there, and then those meals then would be given to food insecure people. And so they came back to South Bend and said, hey, we can do this up here. And I came on board in the summer of 18. We had a founding donor that got us started financially, but now my role in fund development is to help sponsor these meals as we get them out to people that are food insecure. And mainly our focus has been on food insecure elementary school students in the St. Joe, Elkhart, Marshall County area, which I know you have branches there, and you've helped us in that way. We appreciate it with helping to sponsor these kids, because we don't sell our meals, so we give them away, and so we ask for support. And but it helps a lot of these kids, Evan, as I've gotten into this job. And I'll give you a quick example. In South Bend, there's a school up there that we serve. 98% of those kids are on the free and reduced lunch program.
Wow.
They eat breakfast and lunch at the school Monday through Friday, but oftentimes at home on the weekends they don't have food to eat. So that means that we can come in with these meals and help give them something nutritiously to help them stay on track.
That's an incredible number you just gave, 98%. We're speaking with Todd Zeltwanger, the Director of Fund Development for Cultivate Culinary, which is a charitable nonprofit in St. Joseph County. Todd, we're glad to have you down here today.
Thank you.
What kind of numbers are you doing right now with this backpack food delivery program, and where are you looking to take it?
Right now, we're serving 850 students on the weekends in St. Joe, Elkhart, and Marshall County. We want to go to 1,000 students by January of this year. So each student gets 6 of these meals every weekend, and they're microwavable meals. There's a protein, a vegetable, and a starch. Like this one here has shrimp, mac, cheese, and broccoli in it.
Wow.
The other one is a breakfast with scrambled eggs and ham and some apple crisp, I think. So the variety is great. We get our food, just to give you an example, the University of Notre Dame was one of our top food donors. And we get it from the training table of the football team. Coach Kelly up there has been a great supporter of
That's
what we're
awesome.
about. And they realize the importance of nutrition. For kids to do well in school, they've got to be fed. And so they've been a contributor. Century Center, Four Winds Casino, places like that have food events, catering companies. So we're always on the lookout for more food, because the more food and funding we have, the more kids we can feed.
Is that the greatest barrier? Which one's worse, food or funding?
It depends. Some weeks we have more than another, but right now the food actually has been very plentiful. And unfortunately, when the pandemic hit, it hurt a lot of restaurants and places. But what was a benefit to us was back in April especially, they would call us and say, hey, we have all this food, we're going to be throwing it out, why don't you come get it? And so we rescued over 100,000 pounds of food just in the month of April.
Wow.
And all total, just in calendar year 2020 so far, we've rescued over 500,000 pounds of food that would have otherwise been thrown away and wasted. And by the way, another trivia question for you. We waste 40% of our food supply in this country. And unfortunately, that's got to change, or we're going to continue to have food insecure people. If we could reduce that food waste, we could feed the food insecure people their total diet.
What do you think the biggest factor is in getting something like this started? Because like you said, the need's big. Number one, for food insecurity, but also there's so much food just not going anywhere. How do you get something like this started?
Yeah, there's, in what we had to do is to find different sources of food. And if somebody's listening today and would say, boy, I'd love to start this, you could contact us, and we could help walk you through some of the things that we did. Go to cultivateculinary.com and reach out to one of us. But it's going to different places and finding that source of food first, from schools, from banquet halls, from restaurants, in school. There's a variety of places you could go. And then it's not a simple thing, because it has to be done safely. And so certainly the health department comes into our building all the time to make sure we're doing things the right way. Because the last thing you want to do, you have to cool warm food down properly, because if you don't, you can make a food insecure person sick.
Yeah.
If you don't do that right. That's the last thing you want to do is to make that happen. So we follow strict guidelines. Of course, the disinfecting now with and the social distancing with our volunteers that come in and put these together. We can make sure that's all in place up there. And but it can be done. It's something that you have to be dedicated to. And like you said, Evan, the need is great out there. And so, we're not sure what our future plans look like as far as expanding into other counties. Certainly, if we can find sources of food and financial support, we may consider those things.
We've got a lot of generous listeners out there. If this is touching someone's heart, again, how is the best way to get a hold of you for maybe either a food source or funding?
Yeah, I would say, again, our website, cultivateculinary.com. There's actually, if a person's just listening today, if they would like to sponsor a backpack that's here $35 a month sponsors a child,
That's
which
great.
gives them 6 meals every weekend. You can click the Donate Now button on the website and make that donation with a credit card kind of a thing. They can also reach out to me at 574-952-8148. That is my cell number. I'm glad to talk to them and give them and direct them in any direction they would like to go and know more about what we do.
Now, Paul, instead of telling our kids there's starving kids out there, we can just get a backpack program going.
Yeah.
Maybe $35 a month. The kids can see something in action, and maybe that'll help them remember to eat all their meal.
The
Take their
difference in our
allowance for a
program
few
is that
months.
the nutritious food.
Yes.
You know, some of the other programs that are in schools today are the shelf-stable boxes
Right.
and cans and those
Yeah.
kind of things, which are good. Certainly, if you're hungry, anything's better than nothing, right? But this food here does give them a little bit more of an edge because of the nutritional value that goes into each meal.
I love this program. Hey, we've learned a lot this morning, Todd. We can't thank you enough for making the trip down here and educating us on this and sharing what a neat program you guys have going. And at First Federal, we've enjoyed being a part of that with some backpacks, and that's something that we're going to want to continue doing. Thank you so much for
appreciate that
joining
very
us.
much, Evan. Yeah, thanks a lot. You guys have a great weekend.
Yeah, our pleasure. You may know this too, Todd. We'll get back to our trivia
Okay.
question. According to CBS News, what was the most popular Halloween candy in Indiana in 2019? A. Skittles, B. Reese's Cups, or C. Hot Tamales?
I was going to say candy corn, but that was already used, so it is one of those three.
D.
Huh?
Candy corn.
Do I get to guess?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with B.
Reese's Cups. Okay, Paul?
Now see, I was torn between B and C, so since he went B, I'm gonna go C.
Unbelievable. Hot tamales were the #1 candy. According to CBS News, I find that hard to believe. I'm sorry. I like cinnamon stuff, but
Well, I mean, they do sell out pretty
how many
quick.
hot tamales packs did your kids get last year?
I don't remember.
0. I think ours got 0. We may
Well,
have
it's
questioning
the whole
that,
state
yeah,
of Indiana.
this is under protest. That's so 2020, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have our words of wisdom. This is from astronaut Neil Armstrong. I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine.
That's awesome.
Great message. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Thank
We'll
you,
see you
Todd.
guys
Thank
next
you.
week.